Okay, so somebody tagged me. There's a waffle tonight. They're giving away a PVS 14 on the night that I'm waiting for midnight for the drop, and I'm talking to Edmund and Messenger, and I got all these numbers and values, and I'm getting pulled in every direction. Uh, they said, Jake, bro, buy a spot. You never know. Like, I never win these waffles. They're hard. I mean, you have a much better chance at these than like a lottery. There's 100 spots. I bought one spot for $36. I said maybe on a week where I got screwed out of my can, maybe there'll be some karma. Maybe I'll win a PVS 14. I don't know. I figured it's worth a shot for $36. All spots are filled. Give me, say, 19 to 15 and I'll be live. What does that mean, 19-15? 19-15? Is that military lingo? Minus 12? No. Maybe he meant to say 15 to 20. Alright, so I guess we'll find out in a little bit who wins the PVS 14. Cross your fingers for old Jake America. Sure could use a bump and good mojo. Alright. Okay.
Hey, good evening, guys.
There we
We
go.
are here live with the PVS 14. I'm not the biggest NBA guy. I'll be honest, I go to Vince every single time something NBA pops up. But supposedly, super great stats.
Cross your fingers for Jake America.
The HP Plus.
Knock on some wood.
From
Any wood?
everybody that I know, they
Cardboard?
talk pretty highly about it. So
Good enough.
pretty excited to run these. I do have the opportunity to get a second set. If that's something that you guys might be interested in,
I bought one spot for $36. I have 1 in 100 chance.
Second set,
So.
I think it'd be great. All in all, though, this game filled up like super fast.
It's the fastest I've
I
ever
am
seen
almost
one
certain
fill
that
up.
it fills,
Holy shit.
fills history for the fastest / largest game to ever finish in one night.
Amazing.
I mean, we still have that MagTech Mag bundle running, and it was nowhere near the size of this game. So super ridiculously fast. But not to keep you guys waiting any longer than you have to be, we will go over to the Google Doc. Let's make sure that we have them all. I already double checked it, but we do. And copy and paste it. Google Docs is super handy for the big games, I'll be honest with you. Alright, so we have pasted it over, guys. Now this is an X1 style game, so I will shuffle it 5 times, and then a 6th time to declare the final winner. Now, this did finish long before the day of thanks, which would be Thursday, Thanksgiving. So 50th spot, it's kind of random, I know, but you'll be getting an extra 100. I want to say I have the A model and FEE laying around, but we'll get that sent out to you. So,
I don't know what that means.
Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and start randomizing. There's 1, 2,
Can't see anything on my glasses.
3, 4, and 5. And don't get too comfortable because the winning persons are. It is Fernando Villasana. Hey, congrats on the win, man. I don't think I've ever seen you come up with a win.
I think so. That's one of the guys that bought like 6 spots. So.
And
oh well, I tried.
man, what are the odds of that? Seriously. Well, congrats on the win. Twice over. And
he also won spot
let
50.
me know, I guess, if you guys want to run that second PVS. We'll get it up here.
No
problem.
No PVS for Jake America. Not for this game anyway.
We'll see you tomorrow.
It was worth a try. Yeah, I never win these things. Oh well, back to the drawing board. But tonight is the big drop at Steel, and I'm still talking to Edmund. Yeah, he's trying to push them sales on me. I got this, I got that. Come on, let's do it. The thing is, that's hard to, he's like, these are much higher quality. I get it. High FOM, L3, CAC housings. But it also eats up most of my budget. And I'm trying to explain. I'm like, dude, I'm a nods noob. We're going to LARP with it. We're going to go do a little training with it with the boys. And hopefully find a couple of night classes once I get comfortable with it. But, I get it. 24 plus, aviation grade, crystal clear, best of the best is awesome. But if it eats most of my budget up just buying the PVS, leaving me very little left over to buy a G24, a J-arm, and I still need a light/laser option. You know, it's just, I wish my budget was 10K. It's not, it's 5. And I appreciate him. He's been messaging me all day, and I get that. He's trying to make a sale. A good salesman never gives up. I get it. But at the same time, he's like, so what are you trying to achieve? I'm like, I just want to get as good of a PVS as I can and be able to afford the rest of the bits so I can actually run the damn thing and not have to wait 6 months or sell two or three of my GATs to buy a laser. And a budget is a budget. You have to try to stick to it. I know it's not going to be anywhere near as good as your stuff if I go with a steel drop. My concern is I can't look at any of the specs or pictures of tubes with him. He has a website that's very generic, and his Facebook page has a few posts with zero interaction, really. So I don't have much to go on. He sounds like a really awesome dude, but I don't, tangibility aspect. I like to be able to look at the specs and see what I'm about to buy. And then there's the cost factor too. So I get it. He knows I'm going to be all over that drop tonight. And the common sense in him probably dictates at the moment he sees a decent deal for something that fits what he wants, he's going to pounce on it probably. So let me do a last-ditch effort sales pitch and try to sell him my stuff, which I totally respect. But, I got to be able to buy all the bits. And even though $5,000 sounds like a lot of money to spend on something, when it comes to night vision, it's nothing. It's nothing, A good set with all the bits and the mounts and the light and the laser, 6 to 7K is a more realistic budget to have some pretty good stuff all around. And then once you get into duals, then you're in that 9,000 to 14, 15,000 range, depending on, again, what you can afford and how crystal clear you want them to be. So, and then panos, you're jumping to 45, 55,000. So, it's an expensive game, let me tell you. So I'm taking it all in, going back and forth, and hopefully I can make a decision that I can live with and be happy with. But again, having a CAC housed aviation grade high FOM unit as a flex is great, and forget the flex part of it. Being crystal clear for longevity and resale value is a big pluses across the board. But what's it going to cost? Well, all in, that's most of my budget. I won't even have enough to afford a Wilcox and a J-arm with what's left over of the 5K budget. I'm trying to stick to that budget. Going over 100 or 200 isn't the worst deal. So I could grab a Wilcox and probably a J-arm so I could have the unit, but then there's no light, no laser. So that's why, I'm doing the back and forth. Anyway, we'll see what happens tonight.